Every child deserves the best chance in life to grow and flourish under constant guidance, care, and love. But sometimes we fail them, and when we do, the outcome can be catastrophic. This is the murder of 11-year-old Joshua Jeffries. We all know that life can be difficult. Struggles can leave us weary, and we won't win every battle. But there are those among us that will rise to meet life's challenges, and Joshua was one of them. The Portland, Oregon boy, who was only with us for a short time, always remained optimistic in an uncertain life. Joshua was kind and sensitive, which are rare qualities in children that never really have a home of their own. Joshua barely knew his father, and his mother Patricia struggled with drug addiction. Patricia had been in and out of jail for most of her son's life, which ultimately led to her decision to reach out to her friend Gail Hoford for help. Rather than see Child Protective Services take Joshua and his older sister Leanna away, Hoford agreed to help Patricia by providing a home for her children. In return, Patricia would make monthly child support payments to Hoford for the care and well-being of her two children. The two kids were just grateful to stay together and have a place to live. In fact, Joshua was so grateful that he once told Hoford, "Auntie Gail, when I grow up, I want to buy you a house and take care of you." Although Gail Hoford's home was small, she did her best to accommodate the two children within the walls of the tiny cottage. Leanna was given a small room off the kitchen, and a makeshift bedroom was created for Joshua in the laundry room near the back door of the home. Hoford said that she and her partner, Diane Lovett, loved the children as if they were their own. Joshua's home life was made as normal as possible. Hoford said that he enjoyed the typical things of any 11-year-old boy, such as comic books, playing soccer, swimming, and fishing. Much of his free time was spent at the local Salvation Army's community center. To make sure there was stability in the boy's life, Hoford made sure that Joshua followed a few rules. He was given a wristwatch to wear that beeped on the quarter hour. Every day when the watch beeped at 5:45 p.m., Joshua knew it was time to head home for dinner. Even though Joshua had several friends, Hoford would only allow him to visit the homes of a select few. The living conditions were far from perfect, but all things considered, life inside the Hoford home seemed to be working out for everyone. That is until August 10th, 2001. For reasons still unknown, a killer quietly entered the back door of the home at 6548 Southeast 48th Avenue and took the life of Joshua Jeffries. The home looks much different today. The structure has been updated and added onto. But no matter how much you change the footprint, you can never change the fact that a child's life was taken there. Let's now take a look at the timeline of events from August 9th to the 10th. August 9th was a sweltering summer day of 95 degrees. Joshua spent a few hours at a friend's home using a slip and slide to stay cool. Joshua's friend asked his mother if Joshua could sleep over. His mother said no and suggested that he stay on a weekend night. Joshua returned home and played outside until 8:30 p.m. and then came inside and changed his clothes. Hoford said that Joshua watched TV until 10 p.m., then went off to bed. Joshua's sister Leanna had been out with friends and returned home shortly after 12 a.m. Hoford explained to authorities that it was very hot inside the home, so she made the decision to leave the back outside door open and the screen door unlocked in case her daughter Shannon needed something. Shannon was living in a camper in the backyard of the property. Just after 4 a.m., neighbor Alex Ross was working at his computer when he heard what sounded like a gunshot. Ross said he saw the lights go on inside the Hofert home and then heard some screaming and dogs started barking. Hofert said that Joshua came stumbling into her bedroom and cried out, "Auntie Gail, someone came into my room." The boy then collapsed to the floor. At 4:23 a.m., the first of 2 911 calls came in. The dispatcher said there was screaming in the background during the first call, and then they were disconnected. 45 seconds later, a second 911 call was made from the home, alerting police that a boy was covered in blood and looked as though he had been stabbed. Police arrived soon after, along with an ambulance. Officers said that Joshua's chest was covered in blood. He was transported to OHSU Hospital and pronounced dead at 5:02 a.m. The investigation that followed turned up little to no evidence. Police said that the perpetrator entered the back door and went to the laundry room where Joshua lay sleeping in his bed. A single shot was fired into his upper back and exited under his left arm. Somehow Joshua was able to make his way to Hofert's room before collapsing to the floor, and this is how they found the child when they arrived at the scene. Each of the home's occupants were interviewed and later given polygraphs, of which they all passed. After talking to friends and neighbors, police found no evidence linking the crime to a feud that Joshua may have had with someone in the area. He had no ties to gangs, nor did he use drugs or alcohol. Finding the motivation for the murder would prove to be nearly impossible for investigators. Each of those close to the case had a theory of their own. Here are just a few that have yet to be proven. Number 1. Police have acknowledged that the area south of the Hofert's home was known to have a high number of methamphetamine users and dealers. It's possible that a drug addict could have become startled during a burglary attempt and shot Joshua. Or perhaps a dealer found himself at the wrong house and mistakenly killed him. Number 2. Lead investigator Shirley McLaughlin stated that it was possible that someone else in the home may have been the intended target. Number 3. Joshua's family wondered if perhaps he had seen something that he wasn't supposed to, and a perpetrator was just seeking to silence him. Number 4. Neighbor Ruth Miller believed the killer may have been a family friend. Miller said the Hoferts had 3 dogs, a Rottweiler who slept at Joshua's side, a Dachshund that was kept inside, and a Basset Hound that was outside the home on the night of the murder. All the dogs barked at everyone, and Miller stated that there was no way that a stranger went inside that house without setting the dogs off. Number 5. The final theory was an angry classmate. Was there a dispute or an incident that Joshua had with someone at school that no one was aware of? Could a child have struck out at Joshua in a rage? A $10,000 reward was offered but drew no new evidence. On August 16th, 80 people gathered at the Mallory Avenue Christian Church to say their final goodbye. A goodbye to a little boy who was just trying to find a place in this world where he could thrive and call his home. The Lewis Elementary School planted a maple tree at a crosswalk that Joshua used every day. The school's principal said the vibrance of its autumn colors and the hardiness of the tree itself would forever be a reminder of Joshua and all that was lost on August 10th, 2001. Like the tree, Joshua was strong, sturdy, as he faced his life struggles. Gail Hofert died in 2015, never knowing who came into her home and took the life of a boy that she loved like a son. If you have any information about the murder of Joshua Jeffries, please contact the Portland, Oregon Police Department at 503-823-3333. Are you obsessed with true crime content? Subscribe now and join our growing community as we analyze and discuss the details of some truly baffling cold cases. Browse our growing library of cold case investigations and immerse yourself in the mysteries that keep us up at night. Subscribe and join the EOJ community today. All it takes is a click.